So, Drew, how long have you been on the road? How long have you been out there? Is sideman still the right term? I don't even know. What do you
Hired gun.
Hired gun.
Hired gun is what I've known it to be and called it. You know, the music industry is kind of the Wild West at times, and
Yes.
there you go. You know, you're hired for a project. You may be on it for a month. You may be on it for 10 years. You never know. But yeah, I've been actively a touring musician here in Nashville for about a decade now.
Wow. So that's long enough, I think. You've got a pretty good reading. I've seen you on some big shows, and it's exciting. I mean,
it is.
The first thing I want to ask you, actually, I really want this podcast to be intergenerational, because I think we have a lot to learn from each other. I think young people are on the cutting edge of things that can really shed light on old ways of doing things, and I think older people have had experiences, so maybe they can
absolutely
throw a little experience into the equation. But you know, back in the day, I had a record deal. I was on the road, and I'm curious. Let's just start by saying, what are some of your favorite things, you know, of touring life?
I've been very fortunate. I've traveled internationally. I've been across North America 5-6 times now. So I've seen a lot, and I've seen more than I ever imagined I would going into this career path. I've been very fortunate and blessed to get to go to places in the Middle East, Asia that I never expected in my life I'd get to see. I've been to Vietnam performing. So
it's awesome.
Travel, you know, and that was a big motivator for me. Growing up rural Tennessee, I was always intrigued and interested in, you know, other cultures, societies, and wanted to see as much of the world as possible. And for me, music was that vessel. Not only was I passionate about music, but I saw opportunity in being a touring musician to get to see the world. And I've seen a lot of it. So yeah, for me, the biggest takeaway thus far has been travel and connection and seeing different cultures and experiencing it firsthand.
I love Willie Nelson's song "On the Road Again."
Yeah.
And I loved being on the road. There's a lot of it that I miss,
sure.
And the line "seeing things that I may never see again." I loved waking up in a new town. One of my favorite things was you get on the bus at midnight or 2 a.m.
Time travel.
Yes,
literally, you go to sleep and you're in.
It's time travel.
You know, wherever. It's pretty cool.
You wake up and you're in a totally new place.
Exactly.
I loved getting out and walking around the towns, the cities. Yeah, it's fantastic. So following right behind that, what are some of the downsides?
Travel. It's ironic. It's a double-edged sword. You know, as I've grown up in touring, some of the lights and the excitement of travel has diminished. A lot of time in airports. You know, it depends on your method of travel with the artist or group that you're with. You may be lucky enough to be in a giant Prevost bus that's, you know, comped by the label, or you're in a 15-passenger van or somebody's Suburban. So the ebb and flow of travel, too. So that's definitely a downside, ironically enough, is time away from family and friends, and then, again, just sometimes the rough nature of what travel can entail. Again, sleepless nights, jet lag, things like that.
Right.